Imagine this for a second. You're trying to write a single book that explains, well, everything. Not just how the universe was born, but also what color robes an emperor should wear in the springtime. It's this incredible attempt to find one single story that connects the stars to the state. And over 2,000 years ago, that's exactly what a Chinese prince set out to do. So today, we're going to dive into his absolutely amazing creation, the Huainanzi.
I mean, what on earth could this be describing? A god? The universe itself? This is actually the opening line of the Huainanzi, and it just perfectly captures the massive scale of its ambition. It's like a riddle that sets the stage for an ancient theory of everything.
And you gotta understand, this wasn't just some abstract poem. No, this was a huge, state-of-the-art intellectual project happening in Han Dynasty China, a time of unbelievable discovery. The whole point was to create the ultimate instruction manual for civilization, all based on the blueprint of the cosmos itself.
So you have to ask, right? Who was the visionary, or maybe even the madman behind a project like this? To really get the book, we have to understand the prince who commissioned it, a guy named Liu An, and his incredibly important high-stakes audience, his emperor. Okay, so the man behind it all was Liu An, who happened to be the grandson of the Han Dynasty's founder. He brought thousands of scholars to his court with one single mission: take all known knowledge and put it into one single coherent system. But here's the thing, this wasn't for the public. Nope, it was a private gift, a user's manual for his nephew, the emperor, on how to become the perfect ruler by governing in perfect harmony with the universe. Now, to achieve that kind of cosmic harmony, a ruler first had to understand the source code of reality, the fundamental operating system that the Huainanzi says runs through absolutely everything in existence. And that source code is the Tao. Now, if you've heard of Daoism or Laozi, this concept is probably going to ring a bell. The Huainanzi takes this idea and basically makes it the central principle of its entire system, cosmic and political. It's not a god you pray to, it's more like the natural flow, the cosmic current that a wise person just learns how to navigate. The Tao is described through these beautiful, kind of mind-bending paradoxes. It creates everything, but owns nothing. It achieves everything by doing nothing, a concept called Wu Wei. It's the silent, empty source of all sound and all movement. And this isn't just poetry. It's a way of trying to point to a reality that's just beyond our normal day-to-day understanding. So this all leads to the big lesson for the emperor. See, true power doesn't come from forcing your will on the world. It comes from lining up your actions with the natural patterns of the Tao. You don't fight the cosmic current, you learn how to use it to effortlessly guide the whole ship of state. All right, so how do we get from this very abstract idea of the Tao to a concrete map of the cosmos? Let's take a look at how these ancient scholars believe the universe was actually built, from the ground up. The text lays out this really beautiful logical process. Okay, so first, from the Tao, these two basic energies pop into existence, yin and yang. The light, clear yang energy, or qi, floats up to become the heavens. The heavy, dark yin qi sinks down to form the earth. And their interaction, it's like a great cosmic breath that creates the seasons, and from that cycle, everything else, what they call the 10,000 things, is born. And this model shows us a world that is just deeply interconnected, all organized by a system they called the 5 phases, or Wu Jing. It's a system of correspondences where everything fits into a pattern, a direction, a season, a color, even a mythical creature. They all resonate with each other. They're all part of this single, beautifully ordered cosmic structure. I absolutely love this description. They didn't see the universe as just a random collection of stuff. For them, it was this massive living organism that was organized just like the Han government. Heaven was the emperor, the seasons were his ministers, and the sun and moon were the messengers, all doing their jobs in a predictable, orderly way. And this is the key question, isn't it? I mean, it's fascinating to map out the heavens, but Liu An meant for this to be a practical guide. So how does knowing about the Azure Dragon of the East actually help you run a country? Well, this is where the Huainanzi gets down to business. It argues that since the state is basically a mini-universe, the ruler's #1 job is to keep human society perfectly synchronized with all those cosmic cycles. The book becomes a literal day planner for governing. For every single season, the emperor has to perform specific rituals and enact specific policies. So in spring, the season of birth, he wears azure robes and forbids anything that harms new life. You couldn't even overturn a bird's nest. Then in autumn, the season of decay, he wears white and carries out punishments, perfectly aligning the state's actions with the energy of the cosmos.
And you better believe the stakes were incredibly high. According to the Huainanzi, if a ruler messed this up, if he, say, launched a military campaign in the spring, it wasn't just bad policy. It was a cosmic crime. And this disconnect between the human world and the cosmic world would show up as actual natural disasters, droughts, floods, plagues of locusts. Good government was literally about keeping the universe in tune.
So what does all this add up to? When we kind of zoom out from all the details of yin yang and the 5 phases and the seasonal rituals, what is the big picture that the Huainanzi is trying to paint for us?
At its heart, the Huainanzi gives us a worldview that is just profoundly different from our own. We tend to see science, politics, and philosophy as separate things in separate boxes. They saw them as one single, seamless system. For them, the goal wasn't to control nature, but to live in harmony with it. An emperor wasn't an economic manager. They were a cosmic steward responsible for keeping the balance between heaven, earth, and all of humanity.
The Huainanzi is really a testament to that deep human search for a unified story, one that connects our own lives to the cycles of the seasons and the movement of the stars. In our own age, an age of fragmented data and specialized knowledge, maybe the most valuable lesson from this ancient text is its incredibly bold attempt to see the universe and our place in it as one deeply interconnected whole.